Welcome everybody to Off the Dock Podcast.
Hello.
That was Old White and Kevin here with you. Today we're going to have some fun time. We're kind of doing a little testing still now that we're having some live feeds going up. So if you're on White on TikTok, you can chime in. We encourage you to maybe send a comment. I think if we send a comment, it'll come. It'll show up on the screen there.
Yeah, I can adjust it to that to where people can. If you make a comment, then I can see what you say.
Yeah, and then that way, if he wants to include your comment into our broadcast, and we're going to have one today. Our topic, I guess you could say, or what we were going to talk about, is something fun. For other people could kind of just throw some thoughts into there. We were talking, eating lunch and stuff, and just rambling off some stuff. And as I guess normal people do, we were just like, "Man, what would you do if you made $50 million tomorrow?" I don't know how you got it. Maybe you won it. Surely nothing illegal. But or maybe you made a good deal or whatever. Maybe you did something, created something. Somebody wanted to purchase it, and you was able, to get $50 million in your account. And yeah, I know the taxes and all that for all the trollers out there. Well, you got to do this. Yeah. Beyond all that, what would you do? I mean, it's obviously just a scenario that I think people play through their minds sometimes. What would you do? If you was to get that kind of money into your account, and
it's a fun topic. I think that there's really no telling where this conversation is really going to go, because when you think of having more money than you've ever had in your bank account, that opens a lot of new opportunities to be stupid.
Well, there's going to be a lot of stupidness involved. I mean, because if you haven't ever had that kind of money, my camera's on the flips. If you've never had that kind of money to manage before, now it's like you think you have an endless, checking out. Well, first of all, that's not endless. It's 50 million. When you spend 50 million, I mean so just, break it down. Let's say your idea is to spend millions. Well, you only get to do that 50 times. So if you're going to spend every time you go out and you're going to pop off $1 million, you get to do it 50 times. That's all you get.
Well, a lot of I think it was just the other day that you and I were having this conversation about $1 million is a lot of money, but it's not in today's age. Like, you think if somebody used to be able to say, "Oh, $1 million lasts me the rest of my life."
But also, too, at the time, some of those times you couldn't spend that kind of money that fast. But now you can spend it so fast. I mean, there's so many things out there. I mean, just as we were watching this came up because we were both sitting there eating lunch at the sports bar in the Mexican restaurant, and he put it on the Fort Lauderdale boat show. So obviously, if you're watching that, there was boats on there more than your $50 million could go to.
Yeah.
There's $100 million boats. So it's not like the thing now is there are things that actually cost, a lot of money way back in the day, when airplanes first started coming out and stuff. Yeah. If you had that kind of money back then, that's crazy how far it would go. Cause you couldn't buy $1 million airplane. You couldn't buy those kinds of things. Now you can buy $30 million airplanes.
You can spend $1 million in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you can spend it so fast.
You can spend $1 million online.
I mean, they'll take it from you. You can gamble it away really quick. I mean, it's set up. It's set up for you to lose it. But if you kind of understand, you only get to do so much. With large sums. But if you was to kind of keep it kind of boiled down, I think a lot of people would go to their bucket list. I guess your wish list or your bucket list. And that would probably be the first things that people would do. I know
for you people to say you don't have a bucket list, think again.
Everybody's got some kind
There
of
is no way you don't have a bucket list. Like
something you like to do that you're not doing now because you probably don't have enough money or whatever.
Right.
Or at least you can't see how to do it. And maybe that's where we'll transition to. But first we'll just talk about what would you do if you did was to get 50 million. And I know for me, I can tell all my buddies and everybody that Kevin wouldn't work no more. I would definitely start working on my bucket list, and my mine's a very simple one. It's expensive, but it's very simple. I want to travel. I want to travel the world on my own terms.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I don't want to go on cruise ships. I don't want to get on airlines and travel in the world. What I'd like to do is, I would get a boat and I would try to travel the world doing it that way. I'm not saying I'm against trying to learn how to sail. I am very fond of power boats. So, mine would probably be more of a power yacht or some sort like that. And then I'd put my money in the gas tank because I would want to travel the wife around.
I am going to initiate a rage bait right now. Okay. A rage bait. This is going to make a lot of people furious, probably.
Then why would you do that?
Because it's good. It's good. People say money can't buy happiness. Now, listen.
It can buy a boat.
But listen. Listen.
You can buy
I understand. The people saying money can't buy happiness, they're explaining that you don't have to have money to be happy. Totally understand, and I agree. But the phrase money can't buy happiness is false. If I had money to spend on things that made me happy, you bet I'd be happy. Now, I also am not at the level of, like, you scroll through TikTok or YouTube or whatever, and you see all these streamers, and they make millions a month on just recording their life and walking around. They've got Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis and all this crap sitting in their driveway, and they're miserable. I get it. It's like all of this material thing, all the material things, and all of the experiences, and I can see where at a point it doesn't make you happy any longer. Wolf of Wall Street. Everybody's seen that movie.
Yeah, but don't base your life off of a movie. That's just what.
No.
But let's look at it logically. So I mean, I'm fine with that conversation. But here's something that I'm always going to, with the way that I study my scriptures and stuff. So I'm going to play this to the end. I see the end. I see an end philosophy coming out of that. And so if we focus on that, then we might be able to actually have a real conversation. Here's what I'm going to think about that is, yes, can money buy you happiness? So if you live in a world where most of us do, where it seems like you never just have enough, you're always constantly, almost feel like you're paycheck to paycheck. You're constantly worrying about having to put money in the bank or I got to pay a bill, and it's just like it's never enough. And so if you're going to come from that side of the fence, sure, man, I can see how money and happiness could be connected one together. Now, there's a philosophy coming. Now, there's a huge but on the other, a big comma and a great big old but coming on the other side of it. Because it's a great talk to have, right? Because if you can see the philosophy on the other side of that argument, then I think you can begin to argue the whole reason that we're doing off the dock. I mean, what is one of our principles is we want to encourage people to not wait to start living life, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thought. If you're not already having happiness, would money really change that for you? Because here's the thing. We think it would, because it would get rid of the paycheck, worrying about the everyday paycheck, worried about having enough money in the bank to go buy. I mean, look, would it be nice just to walk down to a dealership and knowing that you have I have one or two friends I think I can count on in my hand that can actually they bought one last week. They could walk down there right now and go, I think I want to buy me a note. I like that one. I just want this to do something different. Could they do that? Yeah, I probably know one or two people that can do that. Mm-hmm. And what a feeling it would be to be able to just do that. That's a great feeling. And yet, does it have momentary happiness? Absolutely. So go ahead and chime in on that side of it before we get to the philosophy side.
I think we need to stick. Well, we can go down the philosophy side.
But I mean, just talking about what like right now, if you was to get $50 million and you could go buy anything you want, and we're just going to argue the fact we're going to stay on one side of the argument right now. would it make me happier? I could find ways it can make me happy, and that
is a definitive yes for me.
and that
It would
song
make
is
me
correct, right?
very happy.
That song is correct. I mean, it can buy me a boat. What's that chiming?
Huh?
I heard
It's my phone.
Oh, you're someone sending you texts.
Mhm.
It would he get shocked every time he touches that
Every
phone.
time I touch my phone, I get zapped. I bet you could hear that.
I mean, it could. I mean, there is definitely a short-term happiness, and that could be right. That could be actually leading into an addiction there. But because it would be. You can look. One of the things that, let's say, all of my life I've always wanted to have one of those decked out bass boats to go fishing. But then think about it. I don't really go fishing that much.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. Now, is my excuse because I don't have a really nice bass boat? I mean, I've gone with some friends who's got some really nice stuff, and we had a really good time, But I'm not out there on the bank fishing all the time, wishing I had a boat, neither. Because I mean, you can go fishing from a bank.
Yeah.
I don't say that that's as fun as being in a bass boat, but
here's something that I realized, and I will be the first person to tell you that I'm guilty of being materialistic. Like I enjoy having.
Everybody's materialistic. Anybody who says that they're not, they're just,
Right.
I mean, look, when I get 90, I might be able to say that I've lived a full life, and I can tell you I don't really care about material things. But to some degree, everybody's materialistic.
Well, here's my thought. I was thinking about this the other day with, if you're not caught up on our podcast, you know that we are very involved in the adventure world type stuff. So side by sides, motorcycles, boats, any kind of outdoor sport, overlanding, fishing, hunting, all of that. And when it comes down to it becomes a niche. So if you think about these guys that have $250,000 bass boats, right? I would be willing to bet that they might have the nicest bass boat, but they don't have anything else or for any other hobbies sitting in their driveway as well.
Well, they may not be able to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You find so it becomes for
you find one interest and you focus in on it.
Correct. There's a different type.
It's not like you're that way in every area,
right? So if you and I
you
were
have
to go,
have a lot of money to do that.
We both have side by sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we want to go and ride side by sides, we have machines that will go do that. Now, while we're on the trail, are we going to see somebody that has a side by side that is completely decked out and built beyond measure compared to ours? Yeah, but I guarantee you, those people do that religiously. Like they are there every weekend. They do it every weekend of the year. That is their hobby. I guarantee you, people could look at us and say, well, they have that. That's super nice, but that's his hobby. I think that there's another level of wealth that allows you to, well, what I was about to say, there's another level of wealth that will allow you to have all of the things that you want, but you can only use one thing at one time. It's not like you can enjoy everything at the exact same time.
That's why you change during the seasons.
I am a very seasonal purchaser. I have one toy.
Tries to sell it for the new season.
Yeah, that's how I'm a seasonal hobbyist. So, like for the summer, I bought a jet ski, and it was the only toy that I had. But I bought a jet ski, and now it's freezing cold, and I'm trying to sell it because I don't. What am I going to do with it in the winter? I could rather use something else for overlanding or for dirt bike or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I want this to go forward, and I think this could get interesting. Let's say, where this started, he already kind of mentioned. We were having lunch just a minute ago, and we were watching the Fort Lauderdale boat show. There's boats from $1 million to $150 million at this boat show. And the conversation went like this. If we were to create something that produced a crazy amount of money in a very short period of time, and we had that money just sitting around, what would you do with that money? And the figure was $50 million.
Yeah, because it sounded big to us. $50 million sounds big to us. Because some folks are like, that's chump change.
That's 3 years worth. Yeah, no. So 50 mil is a lot of money. And what would we do with that money? And I mean, I think that anybody's first impulsive buy is they're going to go buy their favorite vehicle. That's it. Like you're there every day, they're going to buy their vehicle. But
I would think that'd be the number one thing you'd probably happen. Probably.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to buy me a new truck.
yeah, I'm going to go buy a new vehicle.
I'm going to
And
go buy this.
okay, well, let's start there. What would
Pay
you
the
buy
house up.
if you were to go buy a new vehicle and you had 50 million in your pocket? What would you buy today? Like you were going on the way to go buy it. What would you get?
I mean, I told you earlier, and just say, I'm going to have some. I'm going to try to be responsible with, but I'm going to have some that just for the fun because I can do it now and I couldn't do it in the day. I'd probably be the guy that would call all the family. Hey, y'all meet me down at the boat. We're going to do something, and I'd have a bunch of tractor trailer rigs from Ford show up down there with trucks and cars all over it.
Pick one.
I said, let's all pick one.
Pick one.
Let's just all get one of them. And yeah, mine would be. It'd be a Ford truck. I'd go with the Ford truck. Obviously, it's going to be something that I would normally drive, but I just can't afford to drive. But just be honest with you. And obviously, this conversation is coming from people who just don't have that kind of money, right? So
We do not.
Some people listen to like, well, yeah, that's the only people that have those kinds of conversations. Well, that's fine. Well, at least I'm at 95% of the
Okay,
way.
this is a theoretical conversation.
So yeah, I would definitely go with something I normally drive, but just something I couldn't just go down there and buy on my own, right? I'd want to buy me one. I'd want to buy all my children one. I want to buy my wife one, my mom and dad, my sister.
I love
probably
that.
spend $1 million on cars right off the bat.
I love that, but I'm talking. You have the opportunity to purchase your dream car.
Well, I don't. Yeah. Well, my dream ain't in cars, so
you would just go buy a new F-250.
yeah, I just buy a new F-250. I don't care about cars. I would
Okay.
not go grab a Bugatti. I would not go.
Oh, no,
grab any of that kind of stuff because I want a Bugatti, not in a car. I want it in a boat. No, I don't
Well,
mean
okay, that's coming.
I don't mean I want a Bugatti boat. I'm just saying that if I'm going luxury, I mean, if I'm going all out on something,
Yeah.
it's not going to be the car. I would want to be able to drive around in something new.
Yeah.
I've only had one of those in my lifetime. I would go, but it would be something that I would normally use.
Right. And I think we're both from Memphis and we both live in an area now where the road is covered in potholes, mud, gravel, and logging truck debris.
Mhm.
And you put a Lamborghini Aventador on the streets up here, and it ain't gonna be very good for your
Tore
car.
up.
Yep. So I'm with you. Okay, so the F-250 would be the first.
Now, where you were headed with that conversation, I got somewhere else. I'd put that.
Yeah, right.
I got a different
no.
idea.
We're doing this in phases.
Yeah.
We're doing this in
I've kinda
phases.
thought this out before. So yeah, I know where you were headed with that because you know me a little bit. But I'm gonna tell you where I'd put that. I know where I would put that.
Okay.
But for a car, an actual functioning car, go down the road in. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a normal.
I think if I were to go purchase a new vehicle today off the lot, they're almost identical, so I don't really know which one that I would choose, but I want the 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser or the Lexus GX 550. I think they're the exact same car, if I'm correct, but they're gorgeous on the inside. Outside still has that Land Cruiser-ish look, and they're built for off-road. And so that is just, I love that mixture of luxury yet rugged. Like I could take it anywhere I want to go, but I'm comfortable on the inside.
Yeah. I mean, and so with the money, that's exactly what I'd be. I mean, look, if I wanted to drive it down at the bottom of that hill over there, I probably would. If I don't have no money, I'm not. I'm leaving it at the top. but yeah, I drive it. I drive it just like a story with my dad. My dad just craziest guy, but he's probably the only man that I know. We went hunting one year, went out west, did big game hunting, and he's riding around in a dually. Before it's all over with, he knocks both fenders off of it. He's driving it down trails. He's like, well, I don't want to walk.
Dualies ain't made for that.
So he just drove the dually. And then one year he took his Cadillac, and he drove his Cadillac, Cadillac truck. That's
Somebody just posted the other day. They were like, "Your car is made to put miles on it, no matter what you have."
Yeah.
Just
But yeah, I mean, now I'm not saying that I wouldn't take that F-250 and then that would be my base version. It would be the other version I do with it. It would be decked out some kind of way.
Yeah.
It would be customized.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could see dropping full interior
Oh,
that
man.
I want in it.
Yeah. Show truck.
Yeah, I mean, well, it'd be my ride around, but yeah, I would. And since I wouldn't have to work anymore, it wouldn't fill up. I know what my buddy Joe's thinking. I wouldn't fill it up with a bunch of tools and all that kind of stuff like I do now, because I wouldn't be working anymore
Right.
if I had that kind of money.
Right.
I'd be done. I'd have someone cleaning it every week. It'd be nice when I got in and out of it. And I know someone probably going to troll us. Well, you can do that now. Yeah, you can, but you don't.
Well,
You don't. I know.
Here's what's funny. We're talking about $50 million. Both of the options that you and I just explained, I'm talking like from purchasing the vehicle to customizing it in every which way that we'd want to, we're still under probably 150 grand.
Yeah.
So think about 150
Because
grand.
so let's back that up a little bit. Everything in my life, as our last episode was, is DIY, right?
Right.
So I might go over 150 a little bit because there ain't no DIY happening ever again in my life. I'm gonna take it down to hijack or whatever, or high sky high or whatever, and they're gonna put the. They're gonna, yeah. See, I've never been there, so I don't know their names. I got the redneck version of Sky Tracker, but I don't.
It's called a floor jack.
Yeah, floor jack and some blocks. That's what we gonna do. But now, since I can do that, it's gonna have the proper suspension all the way.
Yeah.
The gas shock, everything is gonna be, probably even get the one where it'll raise up and down.
Right. Okay.
know,
well,
So yeah,
I
you
for sure
could
could accomplish my
easily-
task with under 150. If you really stretch the F-250 out, I know a lot of show trucks are $250,000.
Yeah, because we're going high polished paint. We're doing a lot of stuff.
Okay, so we have our vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, now we still have $49,850,000 left.
Well, I'd only have 49 because I'd buy me one and buy everybody else one. So
Okay,
me
so,
and the fam are going to get hooked
so
up.
I got an extra $800,000
Yeah,
on you.
I'm not. Look, first of all, let's just be very, very, very clear. I've never in my life been selfish, and I won't start when I got money. Matter of fact, my wife says I'm worse. When I have money, I like to share it with everybody.
Yeah,
And so there's a philosophy behind that, because look, there's times in my life when I need things, and God has always had some way of providing those needs, whether it be through friends, whatever. There's always been someone there, and I would never change that in my life.
Yeah.
If I could and here's another thing, if I can actually elevate somebody, I will do that.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Now, obviously, over 50 something years, I've learned there's a lot of ways you shouldn't do that, because people need to learn. They need to learn how to get educated on their new elevation. So working up an elevation always tempers you. You learn the things you need to learn, because it's easy to go back down. If you go up too easy, it's easy to come back down. And we're talking about just getting $50 million, and I just said all that. Well, it's part of the deal. But yeah, I would. So I'm definitely going to elevate. So I've only got $49 million. You got 49, 800 something thousand. I've only got 49 because I gave 900 of it away to all the friends and families.
and after you
The
saying
first
that,
thing I
makes
would
me
do
feel
is I'd go
selfish
steal
for-
my buddy Joe's truck and have it painted pink and put it back in his driveway.
You go buy me $50 worth of spray paint today, and we can make that happen.
Yeah,
You don't have to have
I'm gonna
50
tell you
days.
right now. If I had the money to buy somebody a truck and then replace it, the practical jokes would be crazy. On Pickwick, Jolie, you better hope I never ever get that kind of money. You go come home one day and have a pink polka dotted Jeep. That's what I would do with my money. I mean, that would be the fun stuff to do, right?
Well,
Could you imagine your friend sitting in a restaurant and you went, of course, you made sure you got everything out of it, and you just squashed that car right in the parking lot. They come out and you, oh, by the way, I'm gonna get you a new one.
that there's Whistling Diesel already does
I
that.
know.
So I think let me please make a note that I'm certainly not selfish towards my family. After the comment that you made, I hadn't quite gotten there yet, but I would obviously take care of. I would want to make sure that my family was set, meaning homes were paid off and vehicles were paid off,
yeah.
and nobody was working
freedom from so they can have the freedom too, right?
stress free.
Well, from finances,
That's correct.
from
Financial stress.
We don't know. We don't. I ain't never had $50 million, so I don't know what stress comes along with it.
Yeah, me either.
But I wouldn't be because I'd be worried about it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so you have, we'll just both say 49 million left after accomplishing the first objective.
Boy, it sounds like it's going down fast already, doesn't it?
There's a mill gone.
I think that's what would kill me more than anything, because remember, it's $50 million one time. It never gets replaced. It's not, well, unless you finance it, unless you smartly invest it all. But let's just say it's not getting replaced. So there goes $1 million. That 50 went to 49 fast.
While we're thinking about this, and I don't know the correct numbers, so don't come after me.
Have we picked up any viewers yet?
No, because we're on YouTube. Perfect.
I thought we were on.
We are, but I can't see TikTok.
Oh, you can't see the TikTok.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going. I should be going.
Well, I figure you could pull up a separate window and check it.
I can try. While we're on that topic, if you are a follower of our stream, we are on Spotify and Apple Music. If you don't already, follow us on there so that you get updates on when we're live. And then we're going live now on YouTube and on TikTok. So TikTok, you have to have a certain number of followers. That information will be ready for that soon, to where you can go follow Off the Dock TikTok page, and we'll just start live streaming on it. But we have to get a certain number of followers for that. Anyway, so let's think about, we're talking about 49 million left. And, I think that the first initial smart thing to do would say, how long could I realistically stretch this money? And you start thinking about like average income.
Not at $40 million, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be thinking. I mean,
think about how far that would go.
I mean, I would. Well,
you were just,
if you're worried about, if you're talking about the context, if I start worrying about how far, I would probably initially do that. But in the scheme of having 50 million and 40 million, that's not low enough for me to start worrying about it.
Well,
I just know my nature. I would be like, oh, I got another. I'm going to spend at least $3 or $4 million just having fun.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the point. Like your comment saying, well, there's $1 million gone already. So my thought is, if you have, I think the nation's average income is somewhere like around $40,000 a year.
Oh, is it? I thought it was more than that.
That's wild. Let's just call it $50,000 a year in 12 months. You're pushing $50,000 in your bank account, most of which probably gets paid in bills. And we just spent quadruple that on our first vehicle purchase.
Absolutely.
So we just spent 4 years of income for the average person,
right, on
our everyday daily driver.
Right. You keep talking. I got to take a break.
So, look, he started talking about money. Now he's anxious. There's so many opportunities to lose money. I guess this is kind of my point in the whole thing. Like, if I'm Kevin is double my age, right? So let's just say I'm going to increase it a lot. It's nowhere close to this anymore, but let's just say everyone lives to be 100 years old. Okay. So for Kevin, he's got another 50 years to live. Okay. So you take whatever that is, $50,000 a year, you could make that 49 million stretch a long, long way. And I'm talking like way past you to your kids, to their kids, and probably to their kids, and maybe even to their kids. So, I mean, you could just, there's endless opportunities. And I think there's plenty of room for philanthropy and all this other stuff. But Kevin kind of made a good point at lunch. He was saying, you know, if we have 50 mil, 49 mil, and you have the opportunity to spend that money wherever you want to spend that money, then I would take 10 million of that, 10 or maybe even 15 million of that, and we would put that money somewhere that could benefit only my family, or using it for bills or for health or for doctors or what emergencies, it's basically unspendable money unless you absolutely need that money.
Yeah.
That's a really good plan, especially with a $50 million budget. Because now you still got 40 million that you can put wherever, but 10 million is going to take a long time to spend if it's only spent on emergency use.
right. And I would think that, the saddest thing. So if money can make you happy, the saddest thing would be to have it and then not have it. You just wasted it
Yeah.
all away. To go back to a check to check thing.
Yep.
So I would say, yeah, the first thing you'd want to do, I mean, just set some, just it can't go nowhere. Of course, that's going to take some, financial people that know what they're talking about. We got friends like Brian Langley and people like that know how to
Manage money.
to help manage that. So you definitely do that. But I mean, look, I'm just telling you, ain't no way that I'm gonna sit around and have it not have. I'm just gonna have me a pile that I can play with. Now, I would like to have that pile in such a way that I could, it's reusable. So what do I mean by that? Well, what I have learned, when you start buying really nice things, you get stuff. If you buy stuff that you can resell, obviously you're going to take a depreciation on it, but you could resell it and get some of your money back. And I would love to think that I could buy stuff that might be, take it to another level, maybe make a little bit off of it. But, spending money on pure consumables, that's the fastest way, for it just to go away. So you definitely would want to be able to reuse it. Like if I want to get another truck, I could sell the one that I had, take that money, put it towards it. I lose it a little bit at a time in that context. Well, you're talking about what goes next. What's after a vehicle? What do you look for? Now we're just under the assumption that, if you have a house or something like that, that'd be probably one of the things you do. You'd pay that off. But what would be another fun thing that you would? Is that where you were headed with that? What would be the next fun thing?
But just before I was getting to like what the next fun thing you would spend a lot of money on, it was more of like the conservation of a certain amount of money so that you wouldn't have to blow it, and you would avoid what you were talking about earlier where you have 50 million and then it's gone.
Yeah, I think I'm just throwing out a number. I know that if I had $10 million and not make another dime in my life, that it would last. I would set it up in such a way that just $2 million, $2 or $3 million set aside in a money account would make enough money for you to live very comfortably, through the year. So based on that, I would set that up for the living expenses, and then I would definitely take another 10 million and put it somewhere that it can't be touched, period, for no reason, unless I want for the catastrophic version of if all else fails and I lose everything that I can't lose, then I can live on that. So I'd always have that backup version. Then if I die with it in there, it would just go to the children, right? So and it would be making its own money during that same period of time. So that technically whittles you down to $30 million. And then that means after buying my first truck and buying everybody else one, I'm down to 29.
Oh, only.
Yeah, I'm only down to 29. Well, the number went down quick like that.
I think a really big, okay, well, let's just say that. We were both at 49. We took 10 out.
Yep.
So we're at 39. And
then we took another 10 out for safety. Now you're down to 29.
What are you talking about safety?
Well, I was under the context that I would take 10 million and set it aside for living expenses, and all that kind of stuff if I lost everything. But I'd take another 10 million out and put it aside, lock it so it can't be used. All it does is grow.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Just it's a savings. So, put it in savings somewhere. Just have it locked away to where all it does is grow. Nobody touches it. It's always there in case the catastrophic thing happens. And then you've got that, right?
I think that it would be wise my brain goes to outside of the materialistic things that you would like to have. Anybody can go spend a crazy amount of money on something they absolutely don't need. But if I had 29 million left, there's two things that I would probably look for. And both of these include never working a day again in my life.
Everything is
But,
never never having to purposely work again.
But some of that money, I think that I would look into purchasing a pre-existing business, one that's already successful. So and it doesn't have to be anything big, just something that's, like I'm trying to come up with something.
Yeah, I would be the opposite of that. I would want, if I was going to do anything of that nature, I would create something that only appeals to something I would just want to do for fun.
Well, I'm saying you wouldn't
But
have
not-
anything in this. Like you wouldn't. You basically, I would be buying a business. Let's just say for $5 million. Somebody's got this small business that is successful. People are purchasing. So all the employees are there. The structure of the business is there. Everything is there. But now you own the business. So you're collecting a royalty on the business for the amount of time that it stays operational. And so even if it's not millions and millions a year that you're getting, it is supplemental money that is basically, it's almost like a stock or like a investment.
Yeah. The only problem I have with that though is what I know about business is anything that you can buy in that small nature is not technically set up to run without the owners in it, because the owners are still the driving force of that thing. So,
That's true.
I mean, it would have to, if I had I'd have to have way more money, because I'd have to buy something way bigger than that, because it's already fully automated. It's, running on management staff, not owners.
So you'd go put $2 million in Bitcoin then?
No, I wouldn't do any. No, I've already told you I got my 20 million set aside. No,
Yeah.
the next 30 million, that's for me. So, no, I wouldn't do that at all. If I wanted to create something, here's the thing. Let's say you go buy, you find a company. Well, that is a way to lose money really fast, because if it goes down, now you've kind of feel obligated to everybody you got underneath there. And you're trying to fund it. You're trying to make it move forward. If you didn't grow the business, you don't know how to continue doing that. Remember, you won $50 million. You didn't make $50 million.
Yeah.
Let me throw that out there. Let me say it one more time. You won $50 million. You did not sit around and manage when you didn't have it right. You didn't grow anything. So the idea that I think that I can buy something and grow, well, heck, if I could do that, I'd do it now.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that hard to do. So no, I wouldn't want to but I wouldn't mind saying, hey, I want to put $2 million aside so that I can, if I wanted to hire an employee or two, and I'd find something that I really, really like, so niche that I could just do it when I wanted to. And the only reason I got the other people working there to do the stuff I don't want to do, and just give them, help them in their life. So I'm kind of just spreading it out a little bit, but it would be in such a way that I could guarantee them paychecks, for a long period of time. And if it made any money, fine, but it doesn't have to make any money. Like if I wanted to just have fun, trying to build my own side by side, because remember, the DIY is still in me. The only reason I don't do certain things that I do now, look, if someone's got $100 million out there, they want someone with ideas, I'm your man. Come find me. We can create some stuff. I've never done it because I just didn't have the money. I've been more of an inventor more than I have anything else in my life. My inventor side of me turned into DIY side because, you just have to learn to do with what you got, right? I mean, if you got some DIY in you, you've got some inventing in you, because you can see visions, you can see things that how we like to make things like, me playing around with this AI stuff and doing all that kind of stuff. That's what I would kind of be doing, right? I would love to.
It's expendable money.
Huh?
That would become expendable money.
Sure, because it's just going to be me. It's just going to be me just having something to do.
Yeah. I think that real estate is probably two things I want to mention. One, I'm going to take back my business idea about purchasing a $5 million business. If I'm going to have $5 million that I can do anything, it is very crucial to me that go towards some sort of mission work.
How many people remembers Ocean's 11?
Yeah.
Remember the one guy goes, well, I'll just take one of everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one of everything y'all got.
I think that it would be really important to be able to do some sort of missions work, whether that was donation or whether that was travel to another country and spending some time there. Because if you got the money, then that gives you the ultimate time for freedom of time to be able to go travel and do that.
Well,
So
now you get to definitely manage time more, right?
correct.
With what you can do, because you're not having to pause to do the things you want to do to go make money.
Right.
You know,
You can make a lot of difference with 5 million somewhere else in the world.
Yeah,
But
I would agree.
But outside of the mission thing, so
I
that
just
that
have
would
a lot more time to do what I want to do.
replace the business side. But then you have real estate. Real estate is a huge thing, and I'm not talking about going and buying apartment complexes. I'm talking about
Heck no.
I'm talking about going.
Money pits, by the way.
I'm talking about going and buying 2,000 acres in Colorado, or
I'd want a mountain,
or
the whole mountain.
Montana, or Wyoming, or
It would be fun, wouldn't it?
having just a couple thousand acres, and you've got, just a smooth, like 15,000 square foot house. That'd be plenty for me. 15,000, maybe 17,000 if it had a pool.
I notice you're haggling over 2,000 square feet. I mean, just make it 20. I don't, like, but you know what it costs to buy one of those. So
it would probably take a whole chunk. First of all, I need nothing that large.
17,000 square feet at $300 a square foot.
Yeah, that's like a Walmart, isn't it?
Yeah. You just spent your money. You spent it all in one sum.
There used to be this real estate page where you could get and look at like large property. It was, I forget the website. It was basically somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 acres per property, and that's what they would list. And all of them had some crazy house on it. In Colorado, for sure, there are multiple houses that are between like the $10 and $25 million range, and that is more than you would ever need. Like, it's so much.
Well, that's more than I want. With my only $29 million left over, I don't want one of them.
Why?
Well, because.
Well, I'm not saying I spend. Look, I'm looking at like a $10 million.
You got to remember what it takes to keep up one of them bad boys.
Well,
so
true.
I'm buying. Here's what I'm doing. I'm doing the total opposite of what you just said. Because first of all, I'm not going to buy a whole bunch of stuff that I want to put in the garage. That ain't happening. Yeah, I'll have a side by side. I'll have a four.
Well, I mean, think of
I'm gonna have a shop somewhere. I would rather just like let's say it happened tomorrow. That building that's around here that we were looking at, an old factory that shut down. I'd be like Greg Biffle. I want to buy one of those. What was it, $400,000-$500,000? Now I got 22,000 square feet to put stuff in. That's all I want. I don't want no more. There it is. There's a shop. I put all kinds of sand buggies. I'd have sand buggies. I'd have side by side.
Well, those things are pocket change. At that point.
I would do that. I would do that. But instead of having a 17,000 square foot house located in one spot, I would want the 5,000 acre non-wanted land. Here's where I would be. I don't know that. I mean, I would love to learn to fly because my first hobby, I'm stealing YouTube ideas, Roman Atwood, all these guys. Yeah, I would learn to fly.
Look, I'm already a pilot. He could be paying me right now to teach me to fly.
Well, I would learn to want to fly. Yeah. I would want the helicopter because I would want land you couldn't get to. Nobody wanted. I would want the 5,000 acres on the side of a mountain in Montana, but I'd only want a 2,500 square foot cabin on it. That's it. That I could lock it up because look, I got to have an island somewhere that I can fly to with a little bitty beach house on it. Then I got to have another. So I would spread mine out so I could go to different programs. I'd want a place where I could go for the snow and the ski. I'd want a place where I could go to the beach and the water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would spread mine out. So I would probably have 4 or 5. I would probably take 2 or 3 million and spread that out over a bunch of small spots all the way around. So I could travel to my own destinations, but I'm not stuck there. Like in the wintertime, if I want to I go down the beach, find an island that I have bought me a little small and put a little, made it
an island that I've bought.
Well, a small one. I mean, they've got really small islands. Little, almost like $1 million that you could buy one. But the only way you get to it, either by flying or a boat, and it's got no power on it. Ain't nothing like that. So you're going to have to build your own solar system for you to have some, regular power and just something really nice on there so you could go and stay. But it would have to have the beaches for the wife, have to have fun. And now all of these houses also become locations for the rest of the family and friends to enjoy as well, right? So everybody wants to go to the beach, just like Joe does. They got a condo. They let us all go down there. Thank you, by the way. That's so fun for them to share that with all of us. If you have one in the mountain, could you imagine if you had 4 or 5 buddies and all of you had quite a bit of money, you all just bought them in different locations, then you can just rotate. Then you can just everybody can rotate and enjoy it.
I know what we can buy.
What?
The lodge at Little Switzerland.
Dude,
I'd go
place.
I'd go Hazzies with you.
That'd be a pretty place.
The backstory behind that.
And the good part about that, though, it would actually make money.
That's what I'm saying. It's a hotel.
So it would technically make money.
Yeah.
And you could have a little place to go.
That's a real place. If y'all are familiar with, or if you enjoy the mountains, like you're a mountain person.
Well, you said the lodge. I'm thinking of the one that got wiped off the side of the mountain.
The big one.
Yeah. No, the one that the guys we helped.
I know. I wouldn't buy that one.
That's Alpine. No, I would because I want to redo it. And do it right, because don't go there.
I'm talking about buying the big lodge.
Yeah, I know, but I think the guys that we helped, they had a way better view.
Well, I would agree. All of this is coming. So you've kind of partially heard, I think. Kevin and I went to North Carolina with a group of guys during the Hurricane Helene stuff. I've been going to Gatlinburg my whole life. So is Kevin. The mountains, I love the mountains. And Gatlinburg has been like the only mountainous place that I've really spent time. But we went up to this place in North Carolina called Little Switzerland. And
crazy.
It is beautiful.
I thought it was a hidden gem, and it's been there for people. Has been, that's I guess a best kept secret because I don't see it advertised anywhere. I've never noticed it anywhere, but it is crazy beautiful.
The house that we stayed in while we were there was built in the mid 1800s, I think.
And it's been in the family no,
I'm pretty sure
the lady who built it. Then they sold it, and that family bought it from her.
Okay, I think it was built
a long time.
It was like mid 18. I think I remember hearing somebody talk about Civil War was going on while that house was being built.
I have no idea. Well, yeah, but then it was revamped by the lady who bought it, and then now the one who owns it now, they've had it for a long time.
Do I remember some story about how that place was built in like 12 days?
I have no idea. I have a hard time believing that thing inside that hill was ever built in 12 days.
The other one might have been.
Well, there might have been a outhouse that was built in 12 days. But yeah, so that's what I would do. I'd have mine scattered out. I'd have it scattered out so that we could all, people could go different places and enjoy different places. I was taking that camera.
Look, whenever you're talking about money, time flies because it's fun to dream a little bit, to think about the impossible.
Well, we did get past the truck. We got to the houses. What would be the next thing you would want?
Well, you decided to stuff all your money in your mattress. So
yeah,
you don't have much money to spend.
No, I do. Yeah, I still got some.
Well, let's tell it. I know what the big purchase is. Tell everybody what the big purchase is.
It's a big boat.
Well, that's okay. Tell us what you need, what it looks like.
Kevin absolutely wants 70 to 100 foot. It has to be long range. So it has to have 1,500 to 3,000 gallons of fuel in it.
Transocean.
I want to get it. I want to get in it. Just think about this. Get in Florida and just point it in a direction. And because I got the money in the bank account to put fuel in it, I can go in any direction I want to go and see all the wonderful, beautiful sights around the ocean, the Philippines, everywhere. Just chart. I would probably do the very first thing I would do is I would probably get on it and stay on it for 3 years. Never get off of it. I would travel as far as I could travel. I'd probably spend another $3 or $4 million just traveling the ocean. I would just waste it. I just spend it so I could see it one time.
I do think that would be pretty awesome.
Just motorboat that thing around and just go see.
Yeah, I do.
Now, I'm not talking about
that guy that you were talking about coming down the lake in 40 knots on a 75-foot boat.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But I wouldn't buy a new one though. Now, I ain't talking about buying a new one. I would buy one that's at least 10 years old because they're really good.
Yep.
It's already been tried and true, got hours on it, and diesel's all the way. But it would be nice now. I would think it would be absolute. Here's one of the things I thought would be fun. I thought it would be absolute fantastic. Well, there's a guy on YouTube's already done it. In Too Deep. I like that guy. If you ever see this, man, I love your show. I do just like what he would do. He bought a oh man, I can't think of the name of that, but I think he had a Hydrus. I think he got rid of that, and I can't think of the one he's got now. He's a 70-foot. But anyhow, he's done a lot of work on it. Of course, he's DIY. He does all of his own work on it. I wouldn't do that, because I would want to buy one that's in really good shape. Heck, I'd buy one of the ones that's right off behind your boat. One of those, and then just have it, put another $1 million in it and redo it. Right, just get it decked out. Mm-hmm. So now you've got a boat that's worth if you bought it new, it would be somewhere in the $6 million range, but you ain't got that in it, and it can travel and it can go. And then I would just go around the world.
That boat right behind me, my buddy that's got that boat,
I don't know if that's big enough.
Well, it's an 80-footer.
Oh, that's an 80-foot. It's big enough.
It's an 80-footer. It has 5,000 gallon fuel tank.
Oh, so it's already a long range boat.
It is.
See, that's what you'd want.
It holds 750 gallons of water, of fresh water.
Yeah. Well, you'd put a water maker on it. You get rid of all that.
Right. But 5,000 gallons that's your Transocean right there.
There you go.
That boat is a Broward.
Broward. Well, that's what the other guy got. So that's why I thought it looked good.
Okay.
So his was a Broward too, I believe.
Yeah.
70-foot Broward.
And the guy behind me, it's really
really good boats.
He kind of started with your processes you're talking about. He bought the boat and it needed a lot of work. He got a crazy good deal on the boat, but he has put what he paid for it into it and has really made it nice. But I believe it's got 4 staterooms, 2 with full bathrooms and jacuzzis.
Yeah.
Like, it's real deal.
Yeah.
I will, while we're on the topic of boats, the maintenance that you remember me telling you a while back, we were stripping the old varnish off of his railing and
off the gunnels.
So we have, it's a 80-foot boat, and you don't realize how long 80 feet is.
So you got to sand the gunnel down.
Until you have to sand every 3 inches to over and over. You spend about 5 minutes on every 6 inches of gunnel, and it takes you a long time.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of work. But once it was complete, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it looked really good. Maybe how fun it would be to, be having your boat. It's you flew to it. You've driven it to Italy. You're off the coast there, and you're in one of the harbors, and you call up a friend. Goes, yeah, got your plane ticket. Y'all fly on here to Italy with us, and let's go out here in the Is that the Mediterranean? Go out here and let's explore this beautiful water. And then they get back on the airplane, and they go back to doing what they're doing, and you go to the next place. The
ultimate captain.
I would love to do that. I mean, that would be the.
Well, let's just say this: if you end up with $50 million and you end up buying your boat, please buy one that has a helipad on it. And I will spend the money to go get everything. I'll go buy the helicopter. I'll do everything I need to do. And I will be.
Well, you'd have to have a long range helicopter to catch me, because I don't know how far them helicopters can fly, but you'd have to find us way on out there. So are we getting close to the end of our deal already?
Yeah, we need to be wrapping up.
By the way, did you ever get TikTok pulled up on another?
Yeah.
Is it going live?
I am live on TikTok, but I didn't log in on here, and it only let me watch a certain portion. But it was live.
Oh, was it?
So this would be kind of a good point to end it.
Did it show if anybody was watching this? Or?
Yeah, a few people got on there.
Oh, that sounds kind of cool.
If you don't already follow, please do. Off the Dock podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much any streaming platform, and then we're going to be going live a lot more often with YouTube and with TikTok and Facebook Live. Eventually we'll have Facebook. So we're always looking for other topics to talk about, things that we can discuss and bring light to. So if you are a follower, or if you give us a good idea, we will give you a shout out, and we'll also discuss whatever your topic is.
Yeah, eventually we're going to get us some merchandise so people put in comments and we can give them out. We can send merchandise to them.
Yep, coming
so
soon.
to bring us to an end, as I mentioned earlier, the philosophy side of this thing, and where I was headed with that earlier was, and we'll just wrap it up with this thought is, the question was, what would you do with $50 million? And, does my money buy happiness? So the other side of that argument would be is where I think a lot of people find depression in money, like you're talking about with YouTubers and stuff like that. The thought process for me is if you didn't know how to have fun already
Mm-hmm.
and you're relying on money to bring that happiness to you, yeah, I don't think you're going to find that.
Well, that's the traditional story. It's the rags to riches.
Yeah, but I think what people don't, here's where I think the hidden problem is with money. I don't think people realize that all it can do is pay bills.
Yeah.
That's all it can do. Now, can it take some stresses off of some? Yeah, it could do that. But at the end of the day, once you've paid all the bills, and it doesn't take long to look, friends don't stick around long just because you can write them a check. It doesn't take but a second to write a check.
Yeah.
So once you write a check, you got all that rest of that time. Now what do you do with it, right? What do I do with it? If you didn't know how to, if you wasn't an individual already seeking out your own personal happiness, which is what this podcast is mainly about. It's mainly about encouraging people. Your adventure starts now. Stop putting it off. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're waiting to get rich to have fun, you're probably never going to have fun. It's hard to get, if that's what you think that's going to happen. You can start having fun with the interest that you have now. Be fun. Here's a scripture that I like in the that I got from the Bible a long time ago, and I'm just going to paraphrase this a little bit, is that you need to learn to be happy with where you are. If you can be happy with where you are, then you can be happy.
Yeah.
Don't think the other side of the fence, the grass, as my mom used to say, and everybody's probably heard this, the grass is green on the other side. No, it's not. No, it's going to come with its own struggles. It's going to come with its own problems. At least, what's that other saying? A big saying, at least this is the enemy that I know. This is the yard that I know. It may not seem to have all the green grass, but it's what I know. Mm-hmm. And so if you can't have fun now, you're probably not going to learn or know how to have any fun just because you get a whole bunch of money. Money doesn't bring fun. Now, can it allow fun? Yeah, it can. It can free you up, but you've got to be, guys, if you feel like that you want to go hiking or you're an adventurous type, well, you can go find any pair of woods you want and start hiking. Just don't
for free.
Just don't do it in hunting season. And if you do, put on a bunch of orange.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do that. Now you go find you a state park. There's one close to everybody. Go hiking. Go enjoy being outdoors. If you think, man, if I had money, I'd want to go camping. Well, go camping. Go do a night camp. Go do a weekend camp. You can still do that.
I think I'm doing that tonight, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you can go do that now. So, hey, look, if I had money, I would want to go, spend time on the lake. You can do that. It may not be in a $200,000 boat, but let me tell you something about what I know about boats. Check this out. A 16-foot John boat and a $200,000 Cobalt both float.
And they get you to point A to point B across the water.
They both float.
Yep.
I mean, heck, if all you got's a life jacket, it floats. You can get on the water. You don't have to be in a $200,000 boat. Listen, I know some folks that's got them kind of boats, and they seem to be awful worried about scratching it. If you was in a John boat, you wouldn't care.
Yeah, true.
You could, hey, I'm gonna put this thing on the bank real quick.
Yeah, the whole point. Don't turn 70 years old and look back at your life and realize that you worked every single day and you didn't enjoy any of it.
Or
because that's going to be so depressing.
Or you got 70 years life and you've been waiting to do something you should have already done in your life.
Right.
You should have already gone and done it. You look. And I know I'm sitting here saying that, and you go, well, Kevin, you're talking about traveling around. I know, and I'm working on some of that because I that's a struggle in me. Sometimes I get to thinking that I've got to have this, and this before I can go and do this. That's not the case. You can get out and go do whatever you want now. So the adventure starts today.
Yep. As we say, jump off the dock and figure it out on the way down.
That's right. Hey, look, just take the leap. What's the worst thing that can happen? You end your life having fun.
Yeah, seriously. Hey, one more thing. If what was I about to say? Dadgummit?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, here
We'll
we
wrap
go.
it up.
Well, we got another episode.
Yeah, that was our first live on TikTok.
And our second live test
Yeah, that was good.
went pretty good. All right, guys. Remember, God loves you. So do we. Peace.
See you soon.